All right, buckle up, everybody. We're diving deep into the world of life coaching today.
Sounds exciting.
You guys sent in some really interesting stuff, specifically about life coaching in Budapest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got this article. It's called Life Coaching Life Coach, Életvezetési Coaching CoachLab.
Okay.
And it's straight from a company called CoachLab in, you guessed it, Budapest. So if you've ever thought, like, what is life coaching all about? How does it actually work? And how much does it cost in Budapest?
Right.
This deep dive is for you.
Yeah, this will be a fascinating look into a specific coaching scene.
Totally.
I'm excited to see what, unique insights we can find.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. This article jumps right into defining life coaching, or get this, as they say in Hungarian,
Okay.
Életvezetési coaching.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's all about helping people achieve their goals, improve their quality of life, and find that balance that everyone's always talking about. They even use this analogy. Think of it like a sports coach, but for your life.
That's a classic analogy.
It is.
It really does a good job of highlighting, like, the guidance-oriented nature of coaching. But, it's interesting to think about how life coaching is defined in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Like in some places, there's a stronger emphasis on personal transformation, almost like a blend of coaching and therapy.
That's interesting. So maybe in Budapest, it's a little bit more practical, a little more focused on like tangible goals and actions.
It's possible, yeah. That might be reflected in the coaching process that they describe later on in the article.
Okay. I'm curious to see how that unfolds. But before we get there, there's this emphasis on Life Coach Budapest. They really want to drive home that this service is available right there in the city.
Right, yeah. It makes sense, especially if life coaching is still, kind of gaining traction in Budapest.
Right.
They're, establishing themselves as experts in the local market.
Totally. But it also makes you wonder, why Budapest? Is there something about the city itself, its culture, its professional landscape that makes life coaching particularly appealing?
Yeah. Well, think about it. Budapest is a city undergoing a lot of change. Economically, socially, culturally.
Yeah.
People might be feeling a bit unmoored,
Right?
looking for guidance kind of as they navigate these shifts. Maybe they're seeking, a sense of direction in their careers or their personal lives, a way to adapt to the evolving city around them.
Yeah. That's a really interesting perspective. It's almost like life coaching is a tool for navigating uncertainty, which, Budapest might have a bit more of right now compared to other more established cities.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if that's reflected in the, types of challenges their clients face, which we might see later on.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. All right, before we move on, the article does mention the CoachLab company. They give their address, phone numbers, they even list some of their partners, but for now, let's stick to the core content,
Right.
the meat of what they're trying to convey about life coaching.
Yeah, agreed. Let's focus on the broader insights and, avoid those promotional details.
Exactly. Okay, so the article goes on to list a whole bunch of areas where life coaching can help, and it's quite a range.
Okay.
Career, confidence, personal growth, health, relationships, work-life balance, finding purpose.
Wow.
The list goes on. It's almost like overwhelming.
It is a comprehensive list.
It is.
It might suggest they're trying to appeal to like a wide audience, or it could be that life coaching by its very nature can be applied to such a diverse range of, challenges because it's ultimately about helping people take control of their lives, right?
That makes sense. But what's interesting to me is not just the breadth of these areas, but how they relate to you specifically. I know you've mentioned feeling a bit stuck in your career lately.
Yeah.
And this source highlights how coaching can help, like clarify your goals, identify your strengths, and create a plan to actually move forward.
That's true, yeah. And that's a key aspect of coaching that often gets overlooked.
Yeah.
It's not about the coach telling you what to do.
Yeah, right.
It's about working together to figure out what you truly want and how to actually get there.
Right. It's about empowering you to make your own decisions
Exactly.
and take ownership of your own path. And this article talks about a collaborative approach, which I guess speaks to that idea of partnership between the coach and the client.
Exactly. And, it's worth noting that not all coaching styles are created equal.
Okay, yeah.
Some coaches are more directive, providing specific advice, instructions, while others, like CoachLab seems to be, are more focused on facilitating self-discovery. empowering the client to find their own solutions.
Okay, so that begs the question. How does this collaborative approach actually play out in practice?
Right.
What does it look like in a coaching session?
Well, that's where their description of the coaching process comes in,
Okay,
which we can delve into next.
perfect. Let's unpack that step by step and see how this Hungarian style of coaching unfolds.
So ready to see how this collaborative approach actually works in real-life situations?
I am. The article goes into quite a bit of detail about their coaching process,
Okay.
starting with that initial consultation. And they really emphasize that it's all about building like a strong foundation of trust and rapport.
Right. That's crucial in any coaching relationship.
Totally.
It's about creating a safe space, right?
Right.
For open and honest communication, where the client feels comfortable sharing, their vulnerabilities, their aspirations.
Yeah, it's not just about like ticking boxes and getting down to business. It's about establishing a genuine connection. And then, once that foundation is set, they move on to goal setting and creating those action plans, which they stress is a collaborative effort.
Mm-hmm. This is where that collaborative approach really comes into play.
Yeah.
It's not about the coach like dictating what the client should do.
Right.
It's about working together
Right.
to identify meaningful goals that align with the client's values and aspirations.
And I imagine this is where the coach's expertise really shines.
Yeah.
They can help you see the bigger picture, connect the dots, maybe even challenge your assumptions about what's possible.
Exactly. A skilled coach can help you clarify your vision, identify potential obstacles,
Mm-hmm.
and develop strategies to overcome them.
Yeah.
And they can also hold you accountable
Oh, yeah.
for taking action and staying on track.
Yeah, for sure. But even though they're big on, working together, they also make it clear that the coach isn't there to solve your problems for you.
Right.
They're there to guide you, support you, and empower you to find your own solutions.
That's a key distinction.
Yeah.
Coaching is not about providing ready-made answers. It's about facilitating self-discovery, empowering the client to take ownership of their own journey.
It's like they say, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's more like teach a person to coach themselves and they can navigate any challenge that life throws at them.
That's a great way to put it. And speaking of challenges, I'm curious to see how this Hungarian style of coaching addresses some of the specific issues that people face. They mention a whole range of areas where coaching can help, and they even have these case studies
Oh, yeah, the case studies.
that provide real-life examples.
Let's dive into those stories. They might give us a better sense of how CoachLab's approach, plays out in practice.
Sounds good. I'm particularly interested in seeing if there are any recurring themes or patterns that emerge, any insights that might be unique to their style of coaching.
Okay, so the article has this section called Life or Life Management Coaching Case Studies and Success Stories.
Okay.
And they don't hold back on the details.
Okay.
These are in-depth accounts of real people who went through CoachLab's programs and, their lives changed.
Wow.
And each story has this clear, before and after contrast,
Great.
highlighting the impact that coaching had.
That makes sense. They're trying to demonstrate the transformative power of coaching.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Showcasing that potential for positive change.
Yeah. So let's jump into the first one.
Okay.
It's titled New Career After 40.
All right.
And we meet Clara, who was a successful banker, but she was feeling unfulfilled. She had achieved a lot professionally, but it wasn't bringing her joy.
This is a common scenario. People reaching a point where, external success no longer aligns with their internal values or aspirations.
Yeah.
And it often happens around midlife when people start to reevaluate their priorities.
Totally. And through coaching, Clara was able to identify her true passions.
Oh, wow.
Things she hadn't even realized she was missing.
Interesting.
It turned out she loved working with people and had this hidden talent for design.
I see where this is going.
You guessed it. She quit her banking job and opened her own flower shop.
That's fantastic. It takes a lot of courage to walk away from a secure career and pursue something completely different.
Especially later in life.
Especially later in life, yeah.
That's a big change.
Yeah, it speaks to the power of coaching to unlock hidden potential and help people align their actions with their true desires.
Right. It shows that coaching isn't just for those starting out or figuring out their first career move. It's for anyone at any stage of life who wants to make a change and find work that truly resonates with them.
It also highlights the importance of self-awareness.
Oh, for sure.
which is a key element of coaching.
Totally.
Clara had to really understand herself,
Yeah.
her values, her strengths, her passions, to make such a dramatic shift.
Okay, ready for another inspiring tale.
You hit me.
This one is called Replanning Retirement Years, and it features Bella, who was struggling with, well, retirement.
Okay.
He felt lost, aimless, unsure what to do with all this newfound free time.
Yeah, retirement can be a challenging transition for a lot of people.
For sure.
You know, it's a major life change.
Yeah.
That often involves a shift in like identity and routine.
Yeah,
And it can be particularly difficult for those who have defined themselves largely through their work.
absolutely. And for Bella, coaching provided that structure and support he needed to navigate this new chapter. He rediscovered old hobbies, started prioritizing his health, and really focused on strengthening his family relationships.
That's wonderful. It's a great example of how coaching can help people find purpose and fulfillment
Yeah.
beyond their careers. You know, it's about creating a well-rounded life that encompasses like personal interests, well-being, and meaningful connections.
And what's interesting is that Bella's story shows how coaching can address not just professional goals, but also like personal ones. You know, it's about finding a sense of balance and fulfillment in all areas of life.
Exactly. It's about holistic well-being. And it suggests that CoachLab takes a broad view of coaching,
Yeah.
encompassing like all aspects of a person's life, not just their career aspirations.
All right, let's move on to a story that might resonate with a lot of people, especially those in long-term relationships.
Okay.
It's called Saving a Marriage Instead of Divorce. And we meet Zuzana and Sandor, a couple on the brink of calling it quits.
Relationships can be incredibly challenging. And sometimes, you know, external support is needed to
Absolutely.
navigate those difficult periods.
And for this couple, coaching was that lifeline.
Wow.
They went through both individual and couple sessions,
Okay.
working through their issues, learning to communicate more effectively, and ultimately rediscovering that spark that had brought them together in the first place.
This highlights the versatility of coaching.
Yeah.
It could be applied to individual challenges as well as relational ones.
Totally.
And it suggests that CoachLab has, you know, expertise in couples coaching.
And what's amazing is that they were able to rebuild their relationship.
Right.
They didn't just patch things up. They actually strengthened their bond and came out like stronger on the other side.
That's powerful.
It's a powerful testament to the potential for healing and growth within relationships and how a skilled coach can facilitate that process.
It also speaks to the importance of communication and conflict resolution,
Yes.
which are essential skills for any healthy relationship.
Okay, one last story for this segment. This one is called From Business to Motherhood, and it features Jasmine, a successful entrepreneur who had achieved great things in her career, but was feeling burnt out and disconnected from her personal life.
This is like a classic example of the work-life balance struggle
Yeah.
that many people face,
Totally.
especially in today's like fast-paced, always-on culture.
So true. And for Jasmine, coaching helped her find that balance. Without sacrificing her career entirely, she learned to prioritize family time, set boundaries, and manage her business in a way that allowed her to be more present for her daughter.
That's a fantastic example of how coaching can empower individuals to make like conscious choices that align with their values and priorities.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about giving up one area of life for another, but rather finding a way to integrate them in a harmonious and fulfilling way.
It's about having it all, but on your own terms.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've heard these incredible stories, each one unique and inspiring.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me is what they all have in common.
What patterns or themes have you noticed?
Well, first of all, they all involve significant transformation. You know,
Yeah.
these people weren't just making small tweaks to their lives. They were making major changes, stepping outside their comfort zones, embracing new possibilities.
Yes, there's a clear emphasis on personal growth and evolution throughout these stories.
And I think what's really cool is that they all took ownership of their journeys.
Mm.
The coach was there to guide and support them, but ultimately they were the ones who made the changes happen.
Exactly. It reinforces the principle that coaching is about empowerment,
Yeah.
not dependency. You know, it's about equipping individuals with the tools and the insights they need to take charge of their own lives.
And there's this sense of hope that runs through all these stories. Like, no matter what you're struggling with, no matter how stuck you feel, there's a way forward, and coaching can help you find it.
That's a beautiful observation.
Yeah.
These stories offer like a beacon of possibility, reminding us that change is always possible and that support is available to help us, navigate those transitions.
And something else I noticed. Each story highlights the personalized nature of coaching.
Right.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about tailoring the process to the individual's unique needs and goals.
That's a key element of effective coaching, recognizing the individuality of each client
Yeah.
and adapting, the coaching style and the strategies accordingly.
So if you're thinking about trying life coaching, I think these stories offer some great food for thought.
Mm-hmm.
They show you what's possible. They highlight the importance of finding a coach who's a good fit for you. And they remind you that you're the one in the driver's seat.
Indeed. These narratives provide valuable insights into the transformative potential of coaching and offer inspiration for anyone seeking positive change in their lives.
And I think these stories have actually given me a better understanding of how this collaborative approach works in practice. It's not just a buzzword. It's a philosophy that seems like woven into every aspect of their coaching process.
Yeah, it does seem to be a core principle for CoachLab.
All right, so we've explored the process. We've seen how it plays out in real life. But let's be practical here. How much does all this coaching goodness actually cost? This is where the article gets down to, like, brass tacks,
Right.
And breaks down their pricing structure.
And this is where we can see how accessible coaching is in Budapest,
Yeah.
at least through CoachLab. Are you ready for the numbers?
Hit me with them. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The article outlines CoachLab's pricing, and they've got like a few different packages depending on, your needs and commitment level.
Yeah, it's like a tiered system,
Right.
which is, fairly common in the coaching world. It allows clients to choose the level of support that best fits their budget and goals.
So for those looking for a shorter term engagement, they have 1 to 3 month packages starting at 150,000 forints.
Oh.
This includes 6 consultations, unlimited email support, goal setting, an action plan, and even like midpoint and final evaluations.
That seems like a reasonable starting point for, someone who has a specific short-term goal in mind.
Right.
It's enough time to get some momentum going and see some tangible results.
Exactly. But if you're looking for more of a deep dive, a more comprehensive transformation,
Okay.
they have a 6-month package for 320,000 forints.
Wow.
This one includes 12 consultations, dedicated online support, more in-depth, goal setting and action planning, continuous monitoring, personalized homework assignments. They even throw in a motivational booklet to keep you inspired.
This package seems geared towards like those seeking more sustained support and accountability. It's about embedding new habits.
Right.
And making lasting changes.
Yeah. And then for those who are like all in, ready to commit to a year of like intensive coaching, they have a premium package for 580,000 forints.
Wow. Okay.
This one's got the works. 24 consultations, a personality test with a debrief, unlimited email and chat support. You name it, they've got it.
Yeah.
They even throw in a self-awareness ebook.
This is clearly for like individuals who are really committed
Right.
to deep personal and professional transformation.
Yeah.
It's about going the whole 9 yards and really investing in themselves.
But here's the thing. They mention discounts and special offers, but don't get into specifics.
Right.
So it's worth asking about those, if you're serious about working with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. It never hurts to inquire about, potential savings.
Especially for those longer term packages.
Exactly.
And, it'd be interesting to compare these prices to like what life coaching costs in other cities or countries. I wonder if Budapest is on par with the global market, or if there are like regional variations.
Yeah, that's a great point. Coaching prices can vary widely,
Yeah.
depending on factors like the coach's experience, the type of coaching offered, and even the local cost of living.
Yeah.
It'd be worth doing some research to see how, Budapest stacks up.
Okay, but before we get too lost in the numbers, let's bring this back to, you and what you're looking to get out of this deep dive. We've learned a lot about life coaching in general, and specifically about CoachLab's approach in Budapest.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how does all this information actually connect to your personal interests and goals?
That's the key question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want this to be, just an abstract exploration of life coaching. We want it to be relevant and actionable for you.
Exactly. So based on what we know about you, we've selected a few key areas where life coaching could be particularly impactful, areas where you've expressed like some interest or maybe even some challenges you're facing.
I'm intrigued.
Are you ready to dive into those specific areas and see how coaching might be able to help?
Yeah, bring it on. Let's get personal.
Okay. So, first up, let's talk about lifestyle changes.
Okay.
You've mentioned, wanting to be more active, eat healthier, and just generally feel more energized.
Yeah.
And guess what? The CoachLab article specifically mentions how life coaching can support like healthier habits and a more balanced lifestyle.
Really? That's great.
I know. I mean, I've tried those self-help books and apps, but I always seem to like fall off the wagon after a while.
Right.
Maybe having a coach to keep me accountable and motivated would actually make a
Yeah,
difference.
that's what coaching is all about,
Yeah. Yeah.
providing that external support
Yeah.
and structure
Right.
to help you achieve your goals. And they really emphasize the importance of creating sustainable habits, not just like quick fixes.
Right, because those never last.
Right.
It's about making lasting changes that become like integrated into your daily life. But how does coaching actually work in this context? Like, do they give you meal plans and workout routines?
It's not quite like that. They highlight how coaching helps individuals identify their obstacles to change,
Okay.
develop personalized action plans, and stay motivated along the way. It's about understanding your unique challenges and creating a roadmap that works for you.
Okay. So it's more about figuring out the why behind my unhealthy habits
Okay.
and developing strategies to overcome those underlying issues.
Exactly. It's about addressing the root cause, not just the symptoms.
Oh, okay.
And the CoachLab article even talks about the importance of exploring like the deeper motivations
Yeah.
and triggers that drive our behaviors. So for example, instead of just telling you to like eat more vegetables, a life coach might help you explore, why you reach for sugary snacks when you're stressed, and then help you develop healthier coping mechanisms.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like getting to the bottom of those patterns that keep me stuck.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, let's talk about work-life balance. Something I know a lot of people struggle with, myself included.
For sure.
I've been feeling like overwhelmed lately, trying to juggle my job, my family, and still find time for like myself. It feels like there are never enough hours in the day.
Right. And this is where life coaching can be incredibly helpful. The CoachLab article talks about how they can help you find that, elusive equilibrium.
Right.
They emphasize the importance of setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and, effectively managing your time and energy.
Yeah, but easier said than done, right? I know I should be setting boundaries, but it's like hard to say no when my boss asks me to work late
Right.
or when my family needs me.
That's where a coach can really make a difference. They can help you develop strategies for like communicating your needs, setting realistic expectations, and saying no without feeling guilty.
It's like having someone to hold your hand and guide you through the process of creating a more balanced life.
That's a good way to put it. And they can also help you, prioritize what truly matters
Yeah.
and let go of the things that are like draining your energy and time.
Okay, one last area I wanted to touch on is personal growth. I'm a lifelong learner, always curious, always looking to expand my horizons. And I was actually surprised to see that the CoachLab article mentions how life coaching can support personal growth and development in all its forms.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
Life coaching is ultimately about, helping individuals reach their full potential.
Right.
And that often involves personal growth and expansion.
But I guess I always thought of like life coaching as being focused on practical goals, like changing careers or improving relationships. I didn't realize it could also apply to like more abstract things like personal growth.
Well, the CoachLab article emphasizes the importance of identifying your values, clarifying your goals, and creating a plan for continuous learning and growth.
Okay.
It's about tapping into your potential and becoming the best version of yourself.
So it's not just about fixing what's broken, it's about going beyond that and striving for something more, something bigger.
Exactly. And coaching can provide like the framework and support to facilitate that journey.
Yeah.
It's about exploring new possibilities, challenging limiting beliefs, and, embracing a growth mindset.
I like that, embracing a growth mindset. It's not about being perfect. It's about constantly learning and evolving.
And it sounds like that's something you're already passionate about.
It is. I'm always up for a challenge, always looking to learn new things.
Well, it seems like life coaching might be, a natural fit for you then. It could provide that extra push, that accountability, and that guidance to help you achieve your goals, whether they're practical or more personal in nature.
I'm definitely intrigued. This deep dive has given me a lot to think about. It's opened my eyes to the possibilities of life coaching And I especially appreciate how you've connected it back to like my specific interests and
That's
challenges.
what we're here for, to help you
Damn.
make sense of the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see how it applies to your life.
Well, mission accomplished. This has been a fascinating exploration of life coaching, and I feel like I have like a much better understanding of what it's all about, how it works, and whether it might be right for me.
Great. And, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question. The CoachLab article repeatedly emphasizes this idea of like finding your true values.
Yeah.
It's a theme that runs throughout their approach to coaching.
And this is where it gets really personal.
So I ask you,
Yeah.
what are your core values?
hmm
And how are they currently guiding your life choices?
Yeah.
Are you living in alignment with what truly matters to you?
Whoa, that's a big question. And honestly, one I haven't really taken the time to ponder lately. I've been so caught up in, the day-to-day that I've lost sight of the bigger picture.
And that's okay. Life gets busy, and it's easy to lose track of what truly matters. But taking the time to reconnect with your values can be, incredibly powerful. It can help you make decisions that are aligned with, your authentic self and create a life that feels truly fulfilling.
You've given me a lot to think about. Maybe this deep dive into life coaching wasn't just about, exploring a new concept. Maybe it was a nudge to reevaluate my own path
Right.
and make sure I'm heading in the right direction.
And if life coaching is something you decide to explore further, Budapest seems like a great place to start. They have a vibrant coaching scene, and CoachLab, based on this article, seems like a reputable company with a solid approach.
Well, I'm definitely adding Budapest to my list of places to visit. And who knows, maybe I'll even schedule a coaching session while I'm there.
That would be a venture worth taking.
It would. And until our next deep dive, happy exploring.